In the last episode, we made ourselves a fully automated brick farm in order to fund our newest project, our power plant factory. And after that episode, I actually did a live stream over on Twitch as well as here on YouTube where we were gathering resources in preparation for today's episode. Which brings me to what we're doing today, which is we are getting that factory up and running. And behind me, we have our brick factory going off the rails right now. It has made us so many bricks. Yes, we still need a little bit more because this is not enough to get as big of a factory as I have planned. We will have a chance to let this run while we're gathering other resources, because we're not just gonna need brick, we're gonna need a lot of other stuff, including andesite, some wood, and a lot of metal. But also, before I forget, I wanna let you know that Minecraft Unlimited 2.0 is available right now for download. It is in a beta state on CurseForge, and you can get it by following the link in the description down below. Now, I wouldn't recommend committing to any sort of world currently, as any and all mods are subject to change in some sort of way, but hopefully in the next coming months there will be a full release of 2.0. But go ahead, grab that beta, and you can follow along with me as this series progresses. Now, the sun has fallen, so I am gonna make a quick trip over to our main house where our bed is. And as you can see here, I built a a partial air balloon that I use to travel around and get some materials from different biomes. But we'll do a better job of that. We'll make that a bit more refined in the coming episodes. Not today, that's not our project today. And we have an Enderman with a backpack here, and we might go ahead and try to take him down. Come on, you got it, come on. Almost done, almost out. Got it, and he did drop his backpack this time. Let's take a look at what was inside. A shovel with unbreaking is not too bad, and a couple of gold ingots. Fantastic. So you'll notice I've got a couple items in my inventory here. This is a schematic cannon and this is a schematic table. And this is what we're going to use to make our factory. Oh, there's a fight going on downstairs. But as I was saying, I've already gone ahead and made the entire factory design in a creative world. And rather than just building it from scratch like we've done the last few episodes, we're gonna actually utilize this schematic cannon. And I gotta get over here to this island, which is where we're gonna be building it, and find my coordinates for where the corner of the factory is gonna go. So according to my documentation, we're looking for the coordinates -18 and -2071, which I believe is right here, and this is the correct elevation. So right here is a very important spot. I am gonna put a piece of smooth stone right there so I know exactly where that needs to be. And what I'm gonna do is in this clearance area right here, I'm gonna put this schematic cannon down. Just like that. And I'm gonna put a schematic table next to it. Now, I don't think this has to be right next to this. I don't believe there's any reason to, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it out here just so we don't have to go anywhere. And I'm gonna use this empty schematic in this table here. And it's already got my NBT file here, which is the schematic itself, loaded up and ready to go. So all I have to do is wait for that to process, which will take just a moment. Just like that, we have it ready to go. So this, if I use this correctly, and I believe the way I use it is just right-clicking kind of where I want it. Oh, and it's gonna come in, and as you can see here, it brings it into our space. This is my favorite part of Create, is being able to make things without having to lift too many fingers, make something really big and massive, and bring it into a survival world with no problem at all. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, I have a couple of options. I have different commands that I can do, basically using my scroll wheel and the control button. So moving in the X and Z plane are what we're gonna be working with first. So I have to be facing one of these zones, which I'm gonna come over here on land and do it, because I do need to push this back a little bit. So if I just control and then scroll, it'll start pushing it back, and I can actually stand pretty far away from it and do that. But what I need to do is get that corner that I placed right here over right there. That is where that corner needs to go. And I think that's it right there. That is where that needs to be set. So this should all be in line with the ground, but ooh, it looks like it's not. Oh, it's because the whole thing needs to come down one. So I can use my other commands here, move the Y position, control scroll to move it up and down. So all I should need to do is, yeah, just like that. There we go. I believe that is where this needs to go. And if I come over here, yep, that is all conforming to the terrain. That conforms to the terrain too. And take a look at that factory. This is going to be one of the greatest builds we make in this series. I guarantee it. We're going to be here for a lot. This is going to house so many of our projects, including our power plant, including many smaller machines that I'm going to put in here. And I don't want to show you too much of it because I really want to get around to building it. And all building it's going to take is gathering the resources, getting those into a chest next to the schematic cannon, and pressing play. So now what I need to do is load this up into the schematic cannon. So I have a ready to go schematic right here, load that in, and it is ready to go. Now it has disappeared. We don't see it right now because we're not holding it. But we can't start building it right now because we need gunpowder and obviously we need the rest of our resources. And I'm gonna put a chest right next to the schematic cannon. That's where we're gonna load up all of our resources. But I'm also gonna gather some gunpowder. Now the only way we can know what's missing from the schematic is by using this checklist printer. And I can do that by just getting a clipboard right here, which isn't too expensive at all, and then loading that into the schematic cannon just like that. There we go. We have a materials checklist, and when I right click with this, I can see every single material that I need. And as I gather these resources, I'll go through and re-upload this in to update it, make sure, you know, how much exactly andesite I need, so this will go down as I continue to update it. But obviously we need a lot of andesite. We need a lot of andesite bricks, a lot of andesite casing, andesite, lots of bricks right there. Wow, a lot more things than I remember putting into this. So this is going to be quite a task. But the best way to get into something like this is by starting at the beginning. Let's gather all of our andesite, and I'm gonna do this through a quick material gathering montage as not to bore you guys because this is going to be a fun episode to get into this factory, but we can't get into it until we build it, right? So I will see you guys shortly after this montage, and then we'll be ready to make our factory. Oh my God. What in the world is that thing? What is that? Come here. Well, it's just a slime? Oh, it's just a slime. It was a weird slime. And a little over about 6 hours worth of recording later, we finally are finished. Yay! That took a lot longer than I was expecting, but we do have all of our resources here surrounding this cannon, and as you can see, it was quite a lot of resources. So I'm glad we got them all, but man, did it take a lot longer than I was originally expecting. It took so long, in fact, that it's the middle of winter now, and we have a snow-covered landscape that's incredibly covered in snow. Look how thick the layers are. Now, I don't think the snow is gonna mess with the schematic cannon too much. It should lay everything properly, but what I'm gonna grab real quick is some charcoal, because I can take some charcoal and I can grab some salt, and I'm just gonna dig up this rock salt here in the side of the mountain, because that's my quickest and easiest way to get salt right now. I could use some cauldrons to evaporate some salt, but this is gonna do just fine for our purposes. And if I just grind up all this salt on this grindstone here, and then combine the resulting salt with that charcoal, I can get 2 gunpowder per each, and that is a great, more efficient way of getting gunpowder than by killing a bunch of creepers, and I'm glad we have that recipe. So now all I've got to do is load this gunpowder up into there, and I think 64 should actually be enough, but I will keep checking on this throughout the building process. And all I have to do is hit play, and the cannon will automatically begin building the factory. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into creative mode, I'm gonna get some nice camera angles, and we're gonna do a nice time lapse of this building process. I've also gone ahead and turned off the daylight cycles so it doesn't keep going between night and day throughout this time lapse, so please don't leave a comment about that. Double checking the materials checklist. The only thing I'm leaving out is this train track and these grass blocks, which I didn't actually mean to keep in the schematic, so we're just gonna ignore those. I'm just gonna make sure I turn on this option here to skip missing blocks, and that should work. Protect block entities is on, everything should be ready to go, and all I have to do is hit play. And just like that, the cannon is already doing a fantastic job. It is already laying blocks exactly where it needs to underneath the snow layer, which I think it'll eventually get rid of that snow. Hopefully, if any problems are happening, I'll make sure to deal with those. But I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the time lapse. Right, okay, we're not even that far into the project and we're already having a couple of issues. It appears as though it's not replacing this grass, which is changed up by one of the mods, and also it's having some issues with the grass coloration when it removes the snow from the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my best to wipe this island clean real quick, get all the snow and the grass out of here, and see if that'll fix things going forward. I don't want to have to replace too many blocks, although it looks like I'm gonna have to replace some going forward. Okay, I think that's gonna take care of it for the most part. I don't know. I think it literally has to do with just this grass block right here, and hopefully I've gotten most of them. There may be still a couple left, but that should take care of it from now on. All right, well, on with the montage. And just like that, we have a fully finished factory. Well, I guess nearly finished, because we did have those foundational problems here at the bottom, which I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna fix that up, because I don't believe it ate up all the blocks that it didn't place. Yes, it didn't. I have this light gray concrete right here, which I use for these landing platforms. And how with this hummingbird? Look at that guy go. But other than the blocks that it failed to place, I also need to go through and repair up these framed blocks. Because when you have frame blocks and you apply a texture to them, they can't actually be put in a schematic. It causes an error. So I had to put these completely untextured. But I do want to turn these into brick and other brick up there. And then I think I want to turn that one into glass. Make this look right. Put all these frame blocks in place. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to repair the foundation. And me and my hummingbird friend will see you once we do that. And yeah, I think that definitely helps bring this build together. Look at how nice our factory looks. I'm gonna go on a quick tour to show you guys the ins and outs of what we have. Starting with our primary room here, I feel like this is gonna be a place we're gonna have a lot of random machines, a lot of small machines that can fit between these pillars here. It's just your standard affair, like your rotating items and anything I need to make small quantities of. It's nothing automated down here, really. And then up here on the second floor, which I do need to continue lighting up because I've had some issues with mobs spawning inside of here, but for right now, this is going to be our second floor. Some larger contraptions are going to go in here. I have no idea what those are going to be yet, but as we need machines, this is where we're going to fill out some of that, while keeping it pretty organized, keeping it nice, but a lot more automated stuff is going to go up here. Then up here on the third floor, I have a feeling we're going to get started up here next episode, because I have an idea for a new machine that's going to go right here, and again, this is going to be more automated stuff. A lot of this is just going to be where we do a lot of our bulk crafting, a lot of our mechanical crafting is probably going to be up in this room. And then out here, we have our main atrium area, which I am super happy about. I love how this thing came together with all these metal rafters up here and this catwalk, which I'm going to probably put more catwalks in as we get in here. But this is going to be our main power supply right in here. We're gonna have a lot of steam engines in here fueled by those blaze burners, so we're gonna need some more blazes, but this room is just gonna be filled with all sorts of things like giant boilers going up to the ceiling and a bunch of automatic systems that are going to allow us to feed blaze fuel into those blaze burners. Those blaze cakes is what I'm thinking we're going to go with, but this is going to be an amazing area right in here. I love this factory a lot. I took a lot of great inspiration in making it, and I had a lot of fun doing so, and I think it just came together so nicely. In fact, I want to go all the way back here and see how it looks from the other island, because I haven't taken a step back to look at this thing yet. Oh my god, it looks so good. Oh, I love it so much. You know what? We could also add some like smokestacks around the back. Maybe that would help it look a lot more grand. I think having like 3 smokestacks going behind it, that would be really, really cool. Man, that is a beast of a building, and I cannot wait to get started. Also, all that copper is already starting to oxidize. It's taking me so long to get some of this done that the copper is oxidizing already, which when that's all oxidized, it's gonna look even cooler. I think what we'll quickly do is before today's episode is out, because we don't have too much time left in today's episode, but I think I want to go ahead and get one little thing set up in the factory, and that's going to be our mechanical press, which has been one of our longest and least consistent machines we've had. Right now, it's hanging out right over here, running off the power of our sawmill, which it doesn't need to be here. It doesn't need to. This is the sawmill. This is where our wood is cut. So I'm just going to grab all of these objects right here, and we're going to take everything over and see if we can't get something simply running. Probably gonna use some power from the brickworks over there because we don't have any sort of steam power yet. Man, I really do need to get a bridge built over to this thing because right now it's a long trek to get back over here, but it's gonna be really cool. We're gonna have amazing things set up. Please keep following this series because I have so much planned, and I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. I know it takes me a little bit of time to get these episodes out, but I promise I want to try to get more frequent videos out, and I have so much planned for this world. I'm gonna put here in a semi-permanent location, you can hear the skeletons, probably right here in the center, I'm gonna put our mechanical press. Actually, I think for now I'm gonna put this right here because this is actually gonna be a part of an automated system that I want to get running for some upcoming things, including trains. So I'm gonna just put this in. I don't think I'm gonna power it today. We're just gonna get this set up. This is going to be the depot? Yeah, we'll put the depot right there because we need that. And then eventually next to it, a little bit further down the way, we will need to get, maybe we just make this wall right here, just our standard fare machines, you know, the mechanical press, the mixer, the press into the basin. I'll get a lot of that set up real quick. The only real problem with that is since this is on the second floor, there will be an issue of the blaze burner poking through the bottom. I think we'll bring this down to the first floor, actually. No sense changing plans up, but let's find a nice spot, an easy access area. I'm thinking, I guess this front corner is fine. I guess I'm second guessing myself. I think this front corner is gonna be a great place for all of these machines that I need. So we'll do the mechanical press here. And then we'll put ourselves the basin here, we'll put the depot right there, and we'll get a mixing bowl right here. We'll get another mechanical press here into a basin. I think that should be good. So what I can actually do to start is make a simple little windmill. This is not going to be anything permanent. This is just going to be until we can get this power plant up and running. But I'll put a little windmill bearing right here. Just get as much rotational energy as we can out of it, as much stress units, and then we'll speed it up with a little bit of a ratio. Glue this together real quick, just like that. And I think that's good enough to start working. That gets us some rotation. And then I'll use that speed to get ourselves some power in here. So then right here is gonna be a mechanical press and a basin, just like that. And then I also have myself my mechanical mixer right there. And that's kind of our 3 primary machines that I need down here right now. Sun's finally going down. I'm gonna take a quick nap here in my bed, which I brought over here because I think we are gonna make ourselves a little sleeping zone here at the factory, you know, just in case we need to have some long nights while working. I'm pretty sure these grass texture problems are gonna sort themselves out at some point, but until that happens, we're kind of at the mercy of that. We'll see what happens in the spring, but I'm not really going to replace all these yet. I think they will go back to normal in the spring. Now, the big question about this chain drive is that can this put power like that? Can it grab the power from the rotation there and then go like that? No. This won't be very fast at all, but I think this should get the job done if I just come over here and run some cogs like this. But I think if I do like this, just like that, it'll get going. We do have some very slow energy right there. Well, that's fine. That'll handle it. That'll do it right now. That gets some power going in there. Look, we're just gonna get this running for right now. That's definitely not fast enough for that mixing bowl, but I think it'll all do. So then if I just add these two on there, those technically run as well. And if I grab like, do I have anything? Yeah, I have a couple andesite alloys. Let's see if it works. Oh, it works. It works. It works real slow. Power! But like I said, next episode we are going to get into steam power, and that is what is going to power everything in our facilities from this point on. No more water wheels, no more anything else. We may leave some of the old stuff on the previous power supplies, but everything else from here on out is probably going to be powered by this, as well as electricity, because that's what we're going to do. But that is all going to have to wait until next episode, so thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode. If you like, be sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm going to be getting a lot of these videos out, as well as other gaming content on this channel, so if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe. You definitely don't want to miss it. But that's all I have for today, so as always, my name is HazardousDaniel, and I will see you guys next time.